Hello there. My name is Sloan, aka Art Plebe, and you're watching Strange Hungers on Total Party Kiss. Strange Hungers is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition horror campaign. It details the secret history of the infamous Fulcrum Expedition, and is played in the homebrew world of Senelji. Join us as our characters venture deep into an icy wasteland and discover the secrets of the chaos at the borders of their world. Please be aware, this campaign includes themes of body horror, trans and queer experience, religion, violence, and loss of agency. As such, viewer discretion is advised. Now let's meet our players. Kiara is an Aasimar warlock cleric multiclass and is played by Pooja. Pooja is an attorney and TTRPG player, writer, and streamer. You can find her on Twitter at Pooja and on Twitch and Instagram at Poojabberwocky. Barden is a half-orc barbarian and is played by Shan Benian. Shan is a freelance illustrator and comic artist whose work has been featured in the Adventure Zone Crystal Kingdom graphic novel and the Alleyman's Tarot. You can find them on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at AnonBDraws. Owesh is a snow elf wizard and is played by Sarah Chafee. Sarah is a TTRPG content creator and performer. You can find them on Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok at SarahIsCoffee, also everywhere else on the internet. Tazriel is a tiefling orc rogue and is played by VJ Harris. VJ is a platinum best-selling DM's Guild author, as well as DM, TikToker, and writer. You can find him on Twitter and TikTok at VJHCreations. Matthias is a human paladin and is played by Sloan Smith. Sloan is a stream producer, graphic designer, and TTRPG performer. You can find them on Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok at ArtPlebe. And finally, Strange Hungers is written and DM'd by Alex Teplitz. Alex is a writer, game master, and TTRPG designer. You can find him on Twitter at Alder_Mancy and on TikTok at Aldermancy, as well as creating games on Ko-fi and itch.io at SwordGhost. Once again, our content warning. This stream will feature content including body horror, trans and queer experience, violence, religion, and loss of agency. Safety tools are in place for our players, and we can stop the stream at any time in the interest of their safety. Thank you so much for tuning in. And now, on with the show.
Hello, and welcome back once again to Strange Hungers. Last we left off, a variety of congruent flashbacks and memories, one for each of our party members. Well, two for some of our party members. We learned of Matthias's oath, of Kiara's father, of Oaish's love, of Novel's childhood, and Tazriel's sacrifices. And now, deep in the mindscape of these characters, as they remain unconscious, sailing into the fog on the Guild Star, their fates unknown, and the fates of the crew for the moment. Barden.
Hello.
Hello. Ooh. Okay. Barden, you reemerge once again out of fog and mist and unconsciousness. And there's a sword in your hand. It's not your sword. This is a slightly dulled training weapon made of steel or iron with a wooden handle. One of many that is used on the training fields outside of Poor Int. What are you
flip it in
wearing?
my hand? Just flip it. As soon as I realize it's in my hand, it's just this natural flip that I do with Titan's Wrath. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Probably wearing the really terrible training armor because it goes through generations of training nights and it's all beaten and battered. Although probably had to struggle to find Barden one because she's big. So yeah, it's definitely got some like dents right in it, and she just doesn't like armor. Does not like it at all.
Like many of the other squires and knights in training, you find yourself here on the training fields of the Fallow family. There are some trees far in the distance, but mostly you find yourselves in sort of a natural valley, an area where some of the water of the floodland pools into a lake and then sort of falls over down and towards the lower geographical terrain of the Empire, here on the border between the lower floodlands of Skyhome and the upper border of the mountains of Abjor. It is a slightly dreary day, cold and wet as it often is in this country, but the ground you stand on is dry. It's been naturally flattened, and you see across from you, your opponent is also flipping his weapon over in his hand.
Who is it?
It is a dwarven young man, one that's very familiar to you. You see fiery red hair, bright in the faded sunlight that's peeking through the cloudy day. He is tall for a dwarf. His beard is long and braided in with a variety of different accoutrements. You see gold symbols, small silver rings, as well as these sort of thick gold braided cords that come down through his hair, almost like he is wearing some kind of crown down through his hair and then into and through his beard. This is Lear Corsire. He is associated with the Courtiel House, uses he, him pronouns, and trained alongside you for many years. And now, at long last, both he and you are ready for your final exam.
All right, Lear, ready?
He doesn't really dignify you with a response, just turns around from where he is looking over his own armor, his own sword. He is not wearing the standard training armor, the whites and blues that might normally be associated with the Fallow House. In fact, he has sort of his own symbol that looks like it's been painted on or pressed onto a much nicer and well-fitting set of studded leathers.
Oh, sorry. Fear, Corsair.
Don't try and distract me.
Just does that with the sword, just like bowing.
If you're going to bow, get your posture right.
Sorry, not all of us were trained into it. You ready?
That's obvious. Nearly looks up towards the watching crowd around. There is a pale-skinned blonde man, Abram Markhart, alongside the lord and lady of the fallow house. Have you talked to them at all before, Barden?
I think she would have if Siren would have suggested it would have done her well. And she obviously would have been polite either way. But I imagine
When
Siren's
you-
given all his opinion of them already.
Mhm. Yes, he has a respect for the Fallow family, as we've learned previous. Their religious affiliations and the comfort that they provide to many in this country, as well as their dominion over the borders of Skyhome, they play an important part. Korea Fallow and Van Patricio Fallow, these are the two heads. Korea is the main head, the lord of this family, but her husband is more often involved in the training of these knights. Knights who come from across Skyhome, not just who are associated with or have pledged their loyalty to this family, but rather those who come to receive training as part of an exchange of goods that are not just economic in this country, rather an exchange of skills. You've talked to them once or twice, once and first, when you came to plead your case, as it were. It's been a long time since Serduk Silverhawk has had a knight of its own.
Definitely turns and bows. More politely this time. Genuine respect.
Do you have any friends who are watching you on the sidelines?
I imagine Barden has made a few. I think it's hard for Barden to go to most places without making a few friends.
I think that's the case.
It's just who she is. Can't think of them off the top of my head, but to be honest, her mind is on this right now.
The faces are blurry. They're not the focus of this memory. Your opponent is ready. He steps forward. You begin the traditional movements, the bows, the dignity, the rituals that have enticed you for so long, that are now becoming second nature. Stepping around each other in a loose circle, dragging your feet in the salt sand. Would you give me, let's call this an athletics check?
1 second. Sorry, very slow. That's 22.
Of course it is. Would you believe I just realized I don't have any dice? Wild. It's okay. I've got a dice roller
Time
right
for a
here.
digital
okay.
roller.
Sin.
Like, Barden really enjoys the whole act and ritual of the movement. It's the frame that hides everything else.
With an 11, your technique and your skill and
22.
your grace. Oh, I got an 11. You
Oh,
got
okay,
a 22.
sorry. Just double check.
No worries. Your skill and your grace in these initial movements are much more elegant than his. You see the knights that are waiting on the sidelines for you, your friends sort of hush down, quiet, energy and anticipation is building. There have been 3 or 4 fights prior to this one, and you are the 5th of the day. You can see, even though they've smoothed over the sand as you step on it carefully around, keeping your eye on both his weapon and his expression and the signals that he's telegraphing, where scuffs have been made, weapons have been dropped, people have been thrown to the ground previously. Lear glances up for a second, feints toward you. You easily anticipate it and step back. He starts to talk under his breath in a low tone. Even though it's quiet, there's still a lot of general chatter, people talking to each other, maybe placing bets, even though it's technically outlawed. You know, you're never gonna be a real knight.
He doesn't rise to it. She is sure in her footwork. She is ignoring him. Just looking, just staring at him as she
You're
moves.
not a noble. That much is obvious. Not only that, we all know why you're here. The curator doesn't need knights. It's just because he can't do magic and he felt bad for you, something like that.
Can I make the first? Actually, no. Actually, no. There was a moment where Barden just, and it's a little bit of a, like a frighten. It's meant to spook him a little bit because she's had fights with him before. She's won most of them. He has been beaten very badly, and she does kind of want to show him up in front of everyone. There is that right at the back of her head, but I just imagine she does that, and the mountain's voice in her head being like, "Keep it back. Just keep it back."
You make that feint towards him, and he steps back slightly. It's obvious he's embarrassed by it. You see the dark red brow furrow. And then he spins his sword in his hand and swings it toward you with an attack roll of... count your AC, since you are armored in this case, with leather armors. It would be whatever your dexterity is now. I don't think that's changed. Whatever your dexterity is, plus 10, plus starting from 12. So probably 12 plus your dexterity.
So that'd be 13 total.
13. Okay, so count your AC as a 13 here in this case. That is a 11 to hit.
Nope.
He swings toward you, and you easily bring your own blade up to block it, swing to the side. If you'd like to make an attack roll back, you may.
Yes.
Go for it.
Sorry.
And in this case, you're
using?
going to add, roll a d20, add your proficiency plus your athletics. It doesn't matter as much how strong you were in the past. This is your memory.
What would be my proficiency?
I
What am I
believe
using?
a plus.
Yeah,
3.
sorry. Proficiency
No
bonus.
worries.
So, that's a 7 plus 10. So that's 10 total proficiency. Oh, it's only a 10. So,
You swing back towards him, and he also steps out of the way. And then circling again. The clouds overhead, your footwork sure. He leans in a little closer, takes a step in. You can't bite me. I know you've been cheating. I don't know how, but I know you have.
you just need to be better. Money
There's
can't buy
something-
that. Blood
something-
can't buy better.
He cuts off what he's saying to swing at you again. This time it is sloppier. He is attacking using a fighting style move.
Ooh.
Here we go. That's a 17 to hit.
Oh, that definitely does it.
Mm-hmm. He feints to one side and then swaps his sword to his other hand. He is ambidextrous. Comes at you and just clocks you in the side with the sort of like lower blade of his sword. Sends you reeling for a second, having to catch yourself and catch your breath.
Feel like the blood begins to heat and boil in her that she
How
promised.
how would you know what money can buy, Sang? How would you know?
Why would I care? I've got more than that.
Everyone knows you care so much about knighthood.
Why are you here?
For my
Is it just because
family.
your family says? Do you just do what they say?
You don't think we've noticed your family hasn't shown up here?
The tome laugh keeps them busy.
Yeah. Sure, whatever they're doing in that place. Like I said, I know there's something about you. You've been cheating somehow.
It's because you're not winning? Means I'm cheating?
You're too fast.
Show you fast. I want to hit.
Yeah. Give me another attack roll.
I kind of want to rage. Do I have that?
course.
Am I a barbarian at this point?
Yes. Barden,
At least in the blood.
you rage in this memory. And you're close enough to him that he can see that something happens to your face. Holding it back, but you can feel the anger, your jaw shifting, moving forward and back. Teeth, mandibles emerging that you have to try and keep in your mouth as you get so angry.
Because they didn't come. I'm going to attack.
You may attack recklessly with advantage.
Just gonna roll. Oh my god. Okay, that was a 9. With my... Do I get +8 or am I misremembering?
It would be plus your athletics, +3, so yes, +8.
So 9 + 8, 17 + 3.
That
I forget how
will,
good my athletics is.
that will definitely hit. So the +8 includes your athletics. It's a +5, +3. So yes, 17.
Okay. Yeah.
You swing toward him again, a little too fast, maybe. And this time it catches him on the side. He falls back onto his ass in the sand, manages to keep his grip on his sword, and pushes himself back up to standing quite fast. But he makes eye contact with you. And there is naked fear in his eyes for a moment.
There is definitely a part of novel that revels in that. He deserves to be afraid. But also pulling everything back into traditional stance, everything back into that set piece that they have practiced and burned into themselves. And Barden stands. And she's like, you like the view from down there?
There's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with her, he shouts, and loses his cool, starts to attack you in a way that's messy, trying to force you back just away from him. You can easily counter. But it's hard to hold back. It's hard to stay in the traditional forms. Your fighting style changes, becomes more wild, more instinctual. It's everything you can do just to keep your hands on the sword instead of reaching out for him with your hands. How do you finish it?
I think it's a Leah like flings the sword out, obviously in panic, and then it's under the sword, pushing it down to the floor with her own, and then a knee to the face because he's at the right height.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not how you're meant to, but he is down. And that's the point.
Your friends erupt in cheering and clapping. He doesn't stand back up.
She still offers a hand to help him up. It's the right thing to do, even if she got mad.
There's a beat. You're not sure if he's still conscious. And then he sits up slightly in a daze and just looks at your hand, wipes a bit of blood from his nose, and spits at your feet.
Another
You're a
good
monster.
fight. Sword away. Heads out.
Your teachers might have commended you. Your friends, proud of you. But that rumor stuck. That rumor with coin behind it and a good family name. And when you were supposed to be knighted, instead, you were taken aside, not even by a member of the Fallow family, one of your teachers, and told, politely but firmly, that Sir Silverhawk could petition another family for your rank.
I didn't do anything. I did everything right. Was it the way I thought? I can do
Some
better.
people are not meant to be nice.
They head home.
And that memory fades. Youch. Tazriel.
Yes.
The echo of that previous memory is still painful. But you are with Vel. You press forward through the mist and the smoke. And then there's this sharp pain in your mind. You feel someone take your hand. You push through it. And now you see ahead of you, it was heading towards dusk, but it's closer to early morning at this point. A familiar cabin on the edge of the Ungekwan. This is your family's vacation home.
Mm-hmm.
It's where you learn to hunt, to shoot. One of the places you grew up. And one of the closest stops after leaving the town that you had to take care of. In this memory, even though it's different, even though the memory itself is different, it was evening when you reached here with Vel last time. The cabin looks the same as it always has. There is a fire on inside. You can smell food. You're by yourself.
I think his normal routine when he's come back here and there's been someone else in the cabin with food and stuff, it's always his mom, someone from his mom's side of the family. He'd go in and speak, but I think he's actually gonna go over to like a little container, like a box, pull out that old training bow he had and a couple of the more blunted arrows could still shoot through a target, but if he hits somebody, it wouldn't necessarily stab them in the leg.
Yeah.
And I think there's like a small little circular clearing that's got like targets painted onto the trees that have like a bunch of like notch marks on them from when he was younger, and he just starts mindlessly firing at all of them. No idea how long he's out there for.
Will you give me a dexterity check with your proficiency?
Can I actually just say he does really poorly at it?
Absolutely.
I think he's missed. I think there's one he might have hit. No, I don't know. Dexterity 12. I think maybe
12 is enough to hit the target, but not on center.
He hits one target, and the rest fly out past the tree line into the ground, high, or really really high, or like almost near the ground, into the tree's trunk, and nowhere where it's supposed to be.
There are scars and marks on other trees around this area. You've been coming here for a long, long time, and you've trained here for a long, long time. Tazriel. After, again, you don't know how long, maybe an hour or 2 hours, pushing into mid-afternoon, you finally stop. You've been going back and forth, collecting the arrows, refiring them, trying to focus, trying to push through what it is you're feeling. Someone comes up behind you, and you feel a hand on your shoulder.
I think he was like, I think the hands on his shoulders as he's pulling it back, like his arm shaking a little bit because he's been firing for so long, and he knows that reassuring touch from his mom. Just lets out a. Doesn't look at her, but is still trying to get his arm to stop shaking. Mom?
You going to come have something to eat?
Would you believe me if I said I wasn't hungry?
You're not allowed to not be hungry. There's food on the stove.
One more shot.
Only if you make it. I taught you better than that.
Okay, and I think he breathes in, remembers the lessons from his youth, and is going to try and steady his hand and then fire. Can I roll for this one?
Yes.
Come on, big boy. Fuck. Am I adding my proficiency to this?
Yes.
Okay. 13.
13 is enough. This time, your arrow finds the center of the target. Alright, so you're not hopeless yet.
kept myself alive this long. I'd hope I've proved I'm not hopeless.
You can do more than keep yourself alive.
Let's eat.
She pulls you inside. It's just her today. You don't see any of your siblings. She sits you down in this wide open cabin. There's wood stacked to one side, worn rugs. People have been coming to hunt here well before your family. It smells smoky on the inside. She steps to the back, opens a window to let out some of the scent. You can smell that something's been burning slightly, and as you look over, she's crisped some of the roots. Perfection, just the way you like them.
Were you here by coincidence, or did you figure I'd be stopping by?
Just had a sense for it. You're like a tickle. But that's a mother's instinct.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going
I'll-
back to Jal Raha soon?
Yes. Always more work to be done, more people to protect. And
You're not with that, other tiefling today.
I needed some alone time.
I hope nothing happened with them.
That was
I
great.
don't need to write a letter to anyone's mother or father, do I?
No, that was great. Honestly, I thought I'd be having a conversation with you pretty soon about getting married or something. I don't know.
Wow. Well, if I give you my blessing, you don't have to ask for your father's.
As if I ever would. I'd
Patience.
sooner ask the Raj.
You might need to. We had to. Is there something on your mind, son? Do you need a favor?
And it takes him a good minute to like speak. I orphaned a boy. I killed his whole family.
She stands up and shovels some more food onto your plate.
It was the right thing to do.
Right things are not always easy.
Do you remember the first time I came back from an assignment with other Fire Knights, my first one, and I told you how I told somebody everything was going to be fine. You're going to be safe. And everything wasn't fine. You weren't safe. They died. They died looking at me, asking why'd I lie. in their last moments.
How many times have you lied since then, son?
I never promise anybody that everything's going to be fine. I say, I'll do my best. I'll protect you with everything I have. And it's the truth.
Well, good.
But this boy's
Jazrael. She puts a hand on your shoulder, firmly, and squeezes. You have to let it go.
He's barely older than I was when I...
It's too much to carry.
And I'll say the name of the town that I, Vic, have forgotten. Do we have family from around
No.
there?
Well, not any of my close relatives, but perhaps on maybe a cousin or two.
Corvin. He said I looked like his dad.
Well, you're a handsome young man. And could be a father sometime soon, if you...
Well,
Better to
see,
think
but
of that. There's the smile.
I do need a favor from you.
Well,
Somebody has to look after the boy, and
and
he's
you're
never gonna...
busy protecting the Empire.
No, I'd make time. He's never gonna forgive me. And maybe when he's older, he'll let me teach him how to fight. But he'd never let me look after him.
Makes sense. Well, if you're any evidence, I'll do a fairly good job raising someone who's seen some difficulty.
I'll cover anything he needs.
I appreciate that. I'm always happy to use some of your father's money.
And I think his face gets he kind of laughs, and then his face gets hard at that. And you know, I'm asking this of you, right? And not him. Never him.
Yes, I understand that. You don't have to like him for him to be your father. He loves you.
He would know what love is if his life depended on it.
Finish your food.
And it looks like he's gonna say something, but he looks at his mom's face and starts eating.
Fog billows up around the cabin as you finish. The conversation winds to other topics. How your siblings are doing, what other missions you've been on, your training, some minor gossip about some of the other nobility, families, farms, the weather. But there's something strange. Has this feeling, this awareness as the memory winds to a close that You could just sink back into the moment, relive it over and over again. But the pain in your head grows stronger, and the mists are gathering around the cabin more than they did when you were here. It was brighter, it was warmer. And the walls of the cabin weren't dirty. The rugs underfoot weren't torn and tattered. The light from the stove and the candles was brighter. The smell was fresh, not rotted. And that's where we're going to take a little break.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. All right, we'll be right back.
I'm in danger.
Oh, I'm in danger.
I
We'll be right
don't like
back.
it.
Hello, and welcome back once again to Strange Hungers. Azrael, the pain in your head grows stronger and stronger and stronger.
Stronger.
Could you
and
give me
stronger
another
and stronger.
constitution? Stronger and stronger and stronger. Give me another constitution saving throw, my love.
You know what? You know what? My next level up, when I get an ASI, I'm taking a feat for con. Fuck this.
It's a smart move.
I didn't roll a 1.
But
I rolled a 2. 4.
Jesus.
amazing. Each of you, besides Tazrael here in this cabin, get the oddest sense. It's almost like the exact opposite of deja vu. Like everything is familiar to you except one thing is off. One thing you've never experienced before. From the cold of the wastes to a burning sensation in your lungs to the warmth of sunlight on your skin as you dance to the sound of lapping water as you walk home. There's mist in these memories now. It wasn't foggy. It didn't smell like this, like smoke. And maybe for some of you it was hard to breathe, but not like this. Not this feeling like you don't need to breathe at all. And then a call, a tugging sensation. And the locations around you all are wiped blank by the mist. And you all, for a moment, see Tazrael. Not Tazrael as you've known him, but a young boy. He's crying. He's running through the woods from something. You feel the fear, the terror. It comes over you. Your heart pounding, pulsing. Dark shadows are reaching for you, for your ankles, for your hands, for your face, and a pain in your head like you've never experienced. A splitting migraine that makes you want to reach up and tear your skull open. And then the mist dispersed. And the four of you are standing outside of a cabin. And there's someone else there too. A tiefling. Their skin is deep, warm, and red. Their horns are short, 2 small tusks. And they're wearing a maroon and gold uniform of some kind with a long skirt. They look like they're about to knock on the door.
Oish immediately, upon realizing that they are no longer in wherever they were, trying to recover, takes out their staff, drives it into the ground, and just reaches out a hand that sparks with magic towards everyone here. Fuck this, what's going on?
What?
This is different.
How did we get here?
Are we?
I thought-
Matthias takes his claws and is gonna pinch himself as hard as possible.
It hurts.
Did I just sleepwalk all day?
I don't know. I was dreaming.
Are we in a dream together?
That depends on if any of you are real.
I feel real.
How would we prove that to you?
I bend over and pick a rock up off the ground. And
It
I
feels
underhand toss
dirty.
it at Oaish's feet, just so it like pings off maybe a toe.
It hurts.
I'm so tempted to waste the spell slot here, but I personally know I can't take short rests right
I would
now.
also
so-
love for each of you to reset your character sheet as if you have taken a long rest.
Yeah.
Woo!
I
You have
mean,
all your spell slots. You also have all your hit points.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't worry about tracking them because we're going to kind of gain the benefits of a long rest as we wake up in the real world too. So
okay.
70 hit points. Oh, fuck yeah.
Did anyone see a little boy? It looked like Taz.
Saw it too.
We are not there, though. Are we? Does it look like the same woods?
it doesn't look the same. Those woods were deep and dark, and as you look around, it's sort of whisper wet. You can see there's these red colors in the trees. There are gourds that have been set out. Some plants are still growing, but most of them are beginning to shrivel up. Greens and reds mix and mingle around you.
Who are you?
It-
And he is addressing the red tiefling who is apparently about to open the door.
Yes. They stop for a second and look back. Looks like they've been kind of leaning against the door frame while all of you are talking, and says, "Are you friends of Tazriel's?"
Yes.
Wait.
Are you?
You could say
Is this
that.
Are you also here in a dream?
Not sure what you mean by that. I'm here to visit my partner.
Partner?
What's your name?
Valhyri.
Oh,
Valhyri.
well, it's nice to meet you.
Likewise. I don't know about dreaming.
I suppose we're also here to visit Tazriel.
Well, makes sense. There's a knock at the door, Taz.
Before I go into that, do I think I belong here, or do I know something's off like the others do?
You know that something is wrong about the cabin. Your mother isn't there anymore. It smells different. It's dilapidated, like it's falling apart. There's that Constitution saving throw, that feeling, the pain in your head. You looked back up and everything was different. You know something's off, but like the others, you're not really sure what's happening. The memories, that sensation, they've been very vivid, very real.
I think it's Valhyri knocks on the door, because it was Valhyri who knocked on the door, yes.
Mhm.
Oish finally, holds out a hand to the rest of everyone else. It says, "Are we here to visit Taz?"
I think so. We saw Daz as a child, right? Maybe
What has
we are
everyone's
in-
experience here been so far?
Baden, because I'm guessing that's the form I've taken since it's where I was last. I'm gonna pull. I've probably got my bag on me. I'm gonna try and pull out a notebook. I want to see if I can read.
Give me intelligence.
I
will give you smarts.
been dreaming.
Mhm.
About?
Oh my god! Don't tell me that's a fucking nat one.
Things that
was a
happened
nat
before.
one.
You pull the book out, Barden, and it's like you're looking through a very distorted lens. The worst handwriting you've ever seen. Everything in it is blurry. You can't understand what language it is.
Hands it to Awash. Can you read that?
Why?
If we're dreaming, we shouldn't be able to read.
I've read in my dreams countless times. What?
I don't.
That's what I've heard.
I think I have read in my dreams. I mostly chat, but
I will try to read it.
You don't see anything on the pages.
There's nothing there. My question remains, what did you dream about?
Memories.
Memories.
yeah, the past.
Well, this isn't one of mine.
Nor
No,
mine.
So why has it changed?
We're
I
looking
think-
for Taz.
I think Taz opens the door at that point.
As you open the door, and as you move, there's this realization that you have. Now, bear with me, all of you, because things are going to get a little complicated.
Yay!
As you
Oh.
open the door, Azrael, you feel stronger than you normally. Here, in this domain, your strength score and any rolls that you would make that require strength are replaced by your intelligence. And
Wow.
any rolls that you would make using your dexterity are replaced by your wisdom. Meaning that if you were to make an attack roll using a sword, you would use your intelligence.
Yes.
Now is that just for Taz?
I'll
This
say,
is
please don't
for-
swap that for me.
Everyone.
Are you
Oh, no,
fucking
so
kidding me? Are you serious? Oh my god! Fucking for real, dude?
Yara like jumps
these
off
are
a
not
tree.
My rule. This is how it works. This is
Fuck
how it works on the
you!
astral
These
plane.
are
Hey,
More
hey,
rules.
hey,
Whose
hey.
rules are these?
Sig, fling me into a tree right now.
Your constitution and your charisma remain the same, but your constitution is more related to kind of your mental ability. Combat and movement are 3-dimensional. You can move by thinking. So making athletics checks is like moving in 3 dimensions is easy. It is like you can walk up a tree very easily. Gravity is very fucky. You also cannot heal except by magical means. So those healer's kits don't work. The only way you can heal.
Does my bite count?
No.
Damn it.
You know what? I'm gonna think on that depending on how you use it, because draining constitution and focus from someone might still count. Less healing and more draining. Yes. So things are switched around. Wizards and those who are intelligence based become very, very strong.
Oh, I haven't felt this in 40 years. I'm gonna jump 5 feet in the air. No.
Yes. Your strength and your dexterity are in some ways relevant in the way that your character still perceives of themselves, but not for making any kind of rolls. Anything that you would usually do to make an athletics check, like to bend bars apart, you would use your intelligence. Your wisdom also becomes your armor class modifier and your initiative bonus. So before we continue with the actual scene, everyone take a second if you have like a notepad or you want to take a note. Your initiative bonus is now your wisdom. So make sure you know what your initiative bonus is. It's your wisdom. And instead of adding your dexterity to your armor class, you now add your wisdom to your dexterity class. So going around and looking at what you would normally be wearing, your normal armor is fine. But if you would add your dexterity to your AC, instead you add your wisdom.
Why am I even here?
Actually, that's better for me.
You look pretty.
Why did I even come
You
to
are here to
class
look
today?
pretty.
You're here to look pretty.
It is Tazriel's mind.
I don't think y'all understand how completely and totally I've just been nerfed. Don't fucking expect anything from me this session, because it's not happening.
Hey, Matthias suddenly looks like a wan little orphan boy.
Yeah. You can heal.
You can heal. True. That's very useful.
Yeah.
You still have your charisma to your
Also, I personally am looking forward to when Kiara Dexily like does something to protect Matthias for a change. I mean, she's still dumb as a box of rocks. Don't get me wrong, but she's real like graceful about it.
Yes, you're so everyone knows what their AC is right now.
Yeah,
I'm fucking.
If your armor just sets your AC,
16, baby.
My AC is 18 now. Hell yeah.
You're that
Mine has
wise?
not changed.
Okay.
My dex and wisdom is the same.
Alex, all right, technical question.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to go this deep into it, but I actually can't wear my splint armor unless I have a strength of 15, and currently my strength is a 7.
you can still
Hi,
wear your
baby.
armor. It doesn't change your actual stats.
Okay.
It's just what is used, so you can still wear your armor.
Okay. Cool.
Totally fine.
Is
just like
is-
movement is your mental strength.
to give context,
Matthias?
your strength right now is still 2 better than Oasis'
I was
on a
gonna
normal
say
day.
your strength right now is better than Kiara's on a
It's
daily
also better
basis.
than Taz's.
Kiara is a 6.
What?
Yeah.
Kiara has a
Oh my
Take a walk on the wild
God.
side, why don't you?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Y'all
So-
live like this?
Yeah.
Apparently. We saw the flashback.
Another thing also to note is that you have the ability to kind of influence things. So in combat, if you have a clever idea for doing something, or if you want to try and inflict your will on the plane around you to bring some of your own memory and past into the scene, you can do so. You can attempt to do so on your turns on initiative. And that might be able to bring some of your NPCs, like Valhyrie, into the scene.
It's like,
Greg.
I just realized
Greg?
that
Dragon.
Greg. Oh. I just realized that Varden does know a little bit about Valhyrie.
Mm.
And so, like, the
Yeah.
moment that Valhyrie knocks the door, the moment that Taz opened it, like, Varden's like, wait. Oh. Yeah.
So does Kiara. I think the only two that might not know anything is Oasis and Matthias.
Yeah. I think
Head
it's just a
empty.
memory.
Too
But
full
I
of
think-
muscles.
Tazriel.
Okay, so Taz comes out. What is Taz's face when he sees all of us?
He recognizes his current companions. Yes, like that. I'm asking Alex. I recognize my companions. Correct.
Yes, you do. It's strange that they're here in this cabin, but they are.
One last question. I remember that Vel's dead, correct? Do I remember that here?
I'm gonna leave that up to you. You are currently, Tazriel, fracturing. Worse than you ever have before. Well, maybe not worse. As bad as you ever have before. If they're alive and in front of you, maybe you don't want to remember that they're dead.
Okay.
Hey, hey, Taz, do we know Vela's dead?
Varden and Kiara do.
Barden and Kiara, like, I know we know something about Vel, but do we
Oh,
know
wait, yeah,
specifically
yeah.
that they are dead?
No, I don't think you would.
Ooh, okay, we just
Alright.
know who they
You
are.
just know
Okay.
about Vel.
Good to know.
I gotta take a brief second because I'm overheating. So just
Talk amongst yourselves.
I'm just thinking of the weird shit we can bring in.
Tazriel.
I think Tad is about to like scoop Vel like in a big hug and not understanding why he feels the urge to do that. He's just like, I see you all the time, but then looks up and sees all of you.
You know
How-
what I just realized? Kiara's strength is 2 higher than before. It's still a 10, but it's 2 higher than before.
God bless.
What does Taz say? Sorry.
He says, "What are you? How do you know about this place?"
We don't. I think we're all not dreaming. It's really me and everyone else. Why were
Yeah.
you in that cabin?
It belongs to my family. I was having dinner with my, and I think he looks back, 'cause he's about to, and then really like actually takes in the inside of it, and probably goes back in, and it's just like door still open. This shouldn't look like this.
I'm gonna follow in behind, I think.
Yeah, same.
Maybe we should go in. Yeah.
We
Is it just foggy around us?
Okay.
Very foggy. Very
I want to
foggy.
pick up a foggy. I want to pick up a stone and just throw it into the fog. I want to see if there's a
not
sound.
really there's no sound.
Daz?
I don't like that. I'm going in. Just bustles Kiara inside, like probably a little bit
Daz,
weaker than usual, but still.
Oh, I'm still pretty.
I'm staying
Perfect.
outside for the moment. I just want to note that.
Okay.
Daz, are we in your dream?
You have to be if we're not here. If you didn't come here, if you didn't travel to the Ngekwan, then
We're in the Ngekwan?
we're near it. We're not in it.
I've never been. Is this a memory? I was in having some flashbacks to my past.
Everyone
is
give me a
this-
perception check, please.
That hasn't changed. at least.
Whenever it is convenient, I would also like to cast Detect Magic.
Gotcha, I'll get to that in a moment.
For sure. Oh,
18.
shit, I rolled
15.
18,
Ooh.
15.
Just a 14.
Everyone above
That is a
15.
24.
15.
Ooh.
Nice.
My perception is good at least.
Love perception.
Love to perceive.
Perception. You notice if you got above a 15, it's shimmering and it's faint, and it kind of appears more just when Taz is like furrowing his brow, I would say. But that tugging feeling, the thing that kind of pulled you from where you were, there's something attached to the back of your neck. Like a thin thread or cord of blue light. And it is connected back to something behind Tazriel.
Behind him.
Taz, could you
Just
turn?
like right behind his head.
Just do it.
He turns around.
As there is something spilling out of the back of your neck, right at the top of your spinal cord. It's like a knot of blue thread, and everyone else is tied into it. You can't feel it, it's insubstantial. It's just shimmering there, coming out of your brainstem.
Does that hurt, Daz?
Does what? And he touches it.
You have a growth of some kind. It looks like it's connected to all of us.
Not to me. Belle doesn't seem to have one.
Oh,
So,
Nice to meet your friends. You haven't introduced them to me before.
and he goes around. Matthias, Kiara.
I'm just gonna step behind Kiara just for the minute.
No, looks and there's like a pause, like he doesn't know what to like you can see in his eyes. Does he say bard? Does he say novel? It's not like he's like hesitating
Yeah.
to introduce you.
Pardon.
Pardon. Oh wait, it's outside.
it's nice to meet you, Belle. I've heard a little bit about you. But,
Oh. Likewise,
nothing.
although I've heard nothing.
Oh,
But of course, Horns keeps plenty of secrets.
Horns?
that's cute.
Is that your little nickname? Horns.
Oh wait, you're casting detect magic? Okay. What is the normal range for detect magic?
It is the presence within 30 feet of you. It gets cast on yourself, and you like move, and the range changes. Yeah.
The range is now 60 feet.
Fuck yeah. I'm not casting it as a ritual, so it immediately goes off.
Okay. You release detect magic, and that feeling of strength and unnatural strength is immediately apparent in that everything around you, I guess it's kind of like a thermal scan almost, where you get this double layer vision. Detect magic normally sort of pings or glows things, and you can tell they're magical school. Everything around you is magical in some way, but not like a magical item and not like a curse. Just like you would be drawing from a source, and the source is in some way around you. But you do notice that it seems to be concentrated around the cabin itself, and that it is flavored kind of like enchantment and kind of like necromancy.
Enchantment, necromancy. I have a weird question, and I will enter the cabin if it is necessary to do so in order to get this. I want to know if I can roll Arcana to put something together. If I can't, it's fine.
Depending on what ask me a question.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. What I'm trying to, because I don't want to metagame this.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a plane of dreams before. Would I be able to make the connection between the viewing of that plane in Siren's Tome Loft and this place?
That is an excellent question. You can roll Arcana with advantage.
Okay. Good thing I have advantage. Jesus Christ. 19.
Okay, 19. Yes, easily. In fact, specifically in your studies, because you are trained as a wizard and have knowledge of the weave and how just the weave works in this world. And also, you didn't get a 15 on your perception, but people have been kind of pointing out the astral cords at this point. So you immediately recognize that you are not on the natural plane, the material plane, that you are within what would be called the plane of dreams, the astral plane, that you are not within your physical body.
I'll join everyone else at that point.
I would love to take while they're all talking with each other, I would love to take a moment to look around in this cabin, venture deeper, take a look at what's going on in here, what's happening.
Yeah. There are a number of candles. There is a stove toward one side that seemed like there's remnants of very, very old and rotting food that would have been upon it. a few beds. You see scattered weapons. It looks like earth and dirt are growing through the floor in some places. It's almost like, again, with that sense that everything's familiar, but then things are off, that Tazriel is kind of experiencing here in this memory. It's like a place he hasn't thought about in a while that's fallen into disrepair because he hasn't thought about it. But mostly, as far as you can tell, it's a pretty traditional hunting cabin. There are wooden crates, there are a variety of barrels, a lot of some like animal remnants from hunting. You see a mounted deer skull up on one corner of the room, barrels, etc., hay, and then the windows towards the back are boarded up, but windows on the sides looking out, you can see there was some kind of garden here, but it is not very well kept either. A lot of firewood, some rusty axes, chairs, tables.
I am seeing a rune on the wall of some kind. Is that there in the dream?
Not in the same way. As Tazriel moves and is talking, things kind of shift around him. Like if he steps forward a little bit, parts of the room kind of shift out of focus, like you're looking at things in 3D.
Tazriel, hold still. If you would, everything is moving while you move.
He stops pacing.
Does, now that I'm inside the cabin, it look like how you said, like, oh, it's converging in this cabin? Is it converging on Tazriel, this concentration of magic?
Absolutely.
God.
You.
And it's naughty.
It's a naughty little magic.
No, it's not.
What do you mean?
It's a naughty little magic.
Oh, it's bad.
It is knotted around
Knotted.
him.
Oh, I see. That makes sense now.
Oh, this is kind of like how Awaish taught magic to Neve. That's kind of neat. Yeah, Awaish stares at Tazriel as Matthias asks him to stop moving and says, "It's you."
I stopped moving.
Wake up.
What?
Get us the hell out of here.
I don't know how we got here.
Through the front door.
I kiss them. I turn and I just grab them by the face and I kiss them.
Whoa.
And I run my finger through that flaming hair. And there's a little like it does burn a little because I'm only resistant and not like.
She smiles through the kiss and then pulls back a little bit and says, "In front of strangers."
They'll get over it. And then
it's fine. I've seen worse.
And then turns back. And I think subconsciously his mind knows that Vel is gone, but the forefront doesn't. So like that kiss, that urge to like just, which he probably wouldn't have done in a normal situation, and he doesn't understand why he did it, but he's glad he did. And then he turns back.
Ugh.
I don't know how we got here. I don't know how I got here. And you're the wizard.
I am not reliving another moment due to something that happened with you. Think.
And Alex, would you say
actually, since we're on the astral plane, unless you tell me this is a no, I'm just gonna say it. I think as he's like frustrated and thinking, like his like psionic stuff just kind of dances around him a little bit.
Oh, very much so. This is your stage, Tazriel. We're in your mind.
And it's not like directed at anybody, but it's clear he's getting frustrated and angry at the situation, and is trying to think.
What's the last thing you remember before coming here? I'm trying to remember. I woke
Now
up.
that is difficult.
I had dinner with my mom. I talked to her about Corbin, and I look at Valeri.
Before that,
Yeah.
before that.
We were back in that town.
On the ship. What's the last thing that you remember on the ship?
You've been traveling?
Yeah, yes, that's how I know them. Weird. Does he recall the last thing?
It hurts, too. The act of fracturing is not clean or easy. You don't remember when your mind starts to break.
Mm-hmm.
You were just dreaming.
I think something he clearly remembers. And he'll point to Barton. You showed us.
It's my fault?
No. That
And then
That's-
you left, Tazriel.
did I?
You left.
I think I remember going to bed.
Yeah. We went to sleep.
Yeah.
And then we woke up.
And you weren't there with us, Taz. It was just me and Barden.
Yeah.
Well, how do you usually wake up from a dream?
I don't know. I opened my eyes. I don't know how we got here, and I don't know how to fix it.
As he gets more agitated, that knot of magic around him just kind of tightens for a moment, like strings are being pulled from other places to wrap around him. Gets a little colder. Again, not cold in a physical way, just like decentered.
Easy. I think that
Looks so.
whatever this is, agitation probably won't help it.
Or will the agitation wake him up? Wish?
What?
I don't know. Do you have any idea? Like, can I roll to see if... I know, I wouldn't really have that knowledge. Like, if we, I don't know, if we scare him or shock him, will it wake him
When
up?
I want to wake up from a dream, I will hit myself or jump over the side of a bridge or a building or something, and that will wake me up.
Falling usually works for me as too.
Valhiri's hand winds tightly into Taz's. I don't think he should jump off a bridge.
I can hit you. Maybe that would help.
Maybe you shouldn't do that.
If you'd like to.
Go ahead, Belle. You know you haven't gotten a good shot into me in ages.
Oh, you bastard. She steps to the side, pulls a fist back, and cold cocks you. It does 1 point of damage. Your headache gets a little worse, but you don't wake up. There's a groaning feeling around all of you, like the walls of the cabin strain for a moment.
Is
I
change better than staying?
Yeah, did that kind of work?
something happened.
I doubt engaging with the dream further will help in any tangible way that will benefit us.
Then, through the boarded windows, mist starts to seep.
Sorry.
I'm putting that. I wanted that to come through, so I'm glad it did.
Does it look like mist I would have seen coming out through Gekwan when I like that kind of mist to Taz's eye?
Yeah.
His psionics flare up, and I think at this point that would be surprising to Vel because while he's been like practicing, I don't think at whatever point that they think they're seeing him is him like.
You would think that it doesn't seem that unnatural to them. This is, again, well, you don't really know, but they pull out their own short swords. I would love for everyone to roll initiative. And remember, you are using your wisdom. for this
Initiative.
Alex, this is unfair to my Dexy boy. No wisdom mod. Ah, shit.
Oh my gosh. I got a
Where's my
17 on the die plus 3. Dirty 20.
There it is.
Now this is gonna roll for me, but I can move things around in the initiative order. Look at our guy.
I actually got a
guessing-
5 in both.
I got a
Which is fun.
22.
Okay. So actually, I'm gonna do this. Oh, wait, what did you get?
I got a 17. I also want to note that I think with initiative, Awaish goes to pull out Darren, and it's a normal spell book.
Yeah,
This is
He's away.
terrible.
he's not here.
Oh God, that's
My
right.
old spell book that I had, like, as a dulcimer. This is awful.
Wait, what?
What did you get, Tazriel?
15.
15. Okay, and what did you get, Matthias?
Hot 5.
Hot 5, very sexy 5. Okay. And then Kiara,
Dirty 20.
20, nice. And that was a 22 for Barden?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Okay. Amazing. Just shifting this around again, which is perfect. Okay. So first in the order is going to be Barden. You are aware, again, that you don't feel as strong as you normally do. But with the mist seeping in, you have this distinct feeling like something's watching you. What do you do?
Can I vibe where? Or is it everywhere?
Everywhere.
Ugh. Blah. I want to pull my sword out. Are the eyes open on the wolves?
Yes.
So it's awakened.
It's still awakened.
There is no voice.
No.
Okay, so awakened, but no one's in there. No one's home.
No one's home.
Just love the idea that she pulls it out. She's like there's a little bit of a like. It's a little bit harder to pull over, and it's just like, I something's watching. I don't know how much good I'm gonna be. I don't feel strong. I I'm going to try and work out where the places where someone can get in. What are the exits? What are the entrances? Where are the exits? Just gonna sort of look around and try and work out where the best place to put myself is, even if I'm not.
If you want to take the help action for someone else to give them advantage, I would allow
Ooh,
that
yeah.
to be sort of what you're doing by looking out for the entrances, noting that
Yeah.
the windows and front door are the weak points.
Mhm. Also, if someone can scoot me inside, that would be great. I can't get on multiverse.
I will
Yeah.
scoot you.
Yeah, just gonna scoot
Okay.
closer to Kiara and in front of Kiara and Oish.
Excellent. You are protective. And next in the order. Oh, it didn't hide my 1 second. There we go. Go back.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? What
My God.
the fuck is that?
No.
What
no,
the
no.
Team got 2 faces? Excuse me?
What the fuck is that?
Nightmares?
That's too many hands. Are those even hands? Are they tassels?
Those are tassels, I think, but maybe they are hands.
Nobody
Tassel
needs that many
hands.
hands.
Oh my god.
The mist coalesces through the back windows and forms into some kind of gigantic dark shape, drawing whatever is seeping in through the cracks in the boards of this old cabin. This thing moves and shifts and looms over all of you. And then there's a low call of some kind, a hum, and rising up within the cabin, you see shadows of some kind. They form out of the mist, but they look like people you know.
No.
Oh no.
No.
Nah.
Y'all about to kick my ass when we get out
I'm
of this.
gonna
Y'all
roll
are-
a d6.
No.
1, 2,
It's
3,
not
4,
your fault.
5,
Your brain's so fucked up, Tazriel.
4. Barden, forming near you out of the mist, you see Lear. Red hair, red beard. He's holding one of those training swords. His face shifts, blurry, that 3D effect. And then another d6. And then from the other side of the room, Matthias, you see Mountain Song, but he's hunched over. His eyes are smoking. It has used its Heard the Underworld ability.
The fuck?
What the fuck?
I certainly have heard the underworld. Motherfucker.
Okay. So
Evil
this
mountains
one,
bang.
this one is Mountain Shadow, and the other one is Lear Shadow. Next in the
Where is
order
Shadow?
is Kiara.
Yeah. I don't want it. Kiara is panicking a little bit, but also sees a lot of undead shit and is just like in a panic, like, this seemed to work last time and is going to, oh shit, I forgot I'm a higher level now. Just kidding.
Hell yeah.
Kiara's gonna be like, I don't know if this is real, but if they're not, they'll go away, hopefully. And Kiara's gonna go and destroy undead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get it!
Yeah.
I have to make a what kind of saving throw?
Let me just pull up Turn Undead. Turn Undead. Cleric stuff. Where the fuck is my Turn Undead?
Turn undead.
It does say that, okay, so the Destroy Undead part of it is that if it is When it fails its saving throw, it is instantly destroyed if its challenge rating is at or below a certain level. So if it's a half or lower, it will get instantly destroyed. Now I will find Turn Undead. Is it a spell?
No,
It's a wisdom save.
It should be.
Okay. That is
My spell for wisdom it's a 14 for cleric
for 14. Kiara, both of these shadows immediately are dispersed. They both fail with an 11 and a 7.
Yeah.
Get those
Only
bitches out of
separate
here.
One half. This is sort of a mental force. As Barden steps in front of you, the recognition of this creature, it just sort of blurs away and then collapses into just mist on the floor, curling around your feet.
Woof.
That's your turn.
Oh.
The gigantic creature is still there. Are you
Boy.
moving at all? Keep in mind, you can move in any direction just by thinking.
I think Kiara's gonna
down into the
accidentally
floor.
fly.
You
Can
float
Kiara
up.
accidentally move up and be like, oh my god! Just like 20 feet. If that. Well, how high is the ceiling? They'll touch the ceiling, however high it is.
You can kind of float up to the ceiling. We're gonna use our little draw tool over on the left. If you want to mark that you're flying, you can just take your little marker and just sort of circle your character like that.
Arden's just like, how am I meant to?
If you think it, you can do it.
Don't
That is
dream it.
Your turn.
Yeah.
Hey.
This
Oh,
bitch
God.
again?
No. It already went. Oh wait, it's your turn.
Put some fucking pants on.
You talking to me? Or
No.
this neighbor shepherd? I've got pants on. They're sexy.
You got sexy pants.
Okay. Let me check something. Something seems wrong.
Sloan, can I put music on, or is that gonna fuck everything up?
Oh, well, I currently have music running on Soundtail. But if you want to start it, we can see how it goes. I have to check my sound settings.
Don't worry too much about it. It was just for us, not for...
All right. I wanted to check something because my spell save seemed real fucked up. So just to let you know, we might have to fuck around with the grimoire because that shit pushes me really high in my save DC for some reason.
It is supposed to do that. It's supposed to be a +1. Might be the item that's in there. Don't worry about it too much.
Okay, that's
I'll
not
double check it.
applicable right now, right? I don't think I finished
No.
it by the time.
You haven't finished it. So it
Anyway.
shouldn't be equipped or attuned or anything like that.
No. I had it on for the stream itself. Oash sees this absolute terrifying fucking thing coming towards us. And is gonna do a little save or suck, I suppose. Let's do Tasha's mind whip.
Whip that
At level
mind.
3. So Awash sees it, looks up, and extends out a hand, and a mass of burrowing runes shoot towards one of the heads of this creature.
Okay.
If you could make a DC 16 intelligence save.
That's devastating.
It's okay if it saves.
5.
Oh, it didn't save?
This thing is difficult to reach out to. It has magic resistance, so it has advantage on saving throws against spells and other effects, and I rolled 2 3s.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
All right. Well, I will roll my damblage. Normally it's 3d6, but when I roll it at 3rd or higher, I'm going to keep it at 2nd level because this doesn't up my damage. It just ups the amount of people I can target, and I only need to target 1 person right now. 3d6 of psychic damage, I believe. But I feel like psychic damage is not the move here. And so Awaish takes out their spell book, looks down, and realizes it looks like what Darren looks like when he's pretending to be a regular book. Except it's very plain. Whereas even when Darren is pretending to be a regular book, he has like gold and silver embosses and some jewels. This looks like a book that you could lose in the shelves of a library. And their face twists for a moment, but they still use it very deftly in order to swap out the damage for, let's say... I don't want to make it runic damage because I feel like that's a cheat. But I'll make it poison damage? Let's see what happens.
You make it poison damage?
Is that going to make it... Don't tell me that psychic is the only thing that hits it, but I'm doubling down. Let's find out. Let's do some fact finding. That's 10 points of damage.
It is immune to poison.
Yeah. All right. We learned. However, it did lose on the save, so that doesn't mean that it doesn't take anything. So the target it can't take a reaction until the end of its next turn. And also on its next turn, it must choose whether it gets a move, an action, or a bonus action. Only gets one of the 3.
Amazing.
Nice.
You can... Testing, especially with your intelligence in this world right now, poison is difficult to apply to things. Psychic might actually be easier.
Useful. Sure.
Useful information to have. Sorry.
No, this is the purpose of the scribe's wizard, you know?
Good shit. Okay, Awaish, that is your turn. The runes that you summon towards it wrap around this creature, kind of holding it in place. It's very amorphous, slowing this shifting movement.
They start to shudder, and like you on the outside can just barely hear what's echoing into this thing's brain, which is a multilingual shriek.
It is your turn, Tazriel.
Quick question. Am I feeling like the stitching in my stuff? Am I feeling anything from that in the presence of this creature?
No, this is not shepherd. Okay. This is a nightmare shepherd.
Okay.
On brand, but not the.
God, Taz. I think Taz is assuming that this thing is keeping us asleep or whatever and stuck in here. So I think he is actually going to... Oh, God. He's probably gonna pass this, but he's gonna do it anyway. And he's gonna... All of you have heard his like weird dissonant whispers thing, but I think because we're in his mindscape, like if anybody's ever seen like like the X-Men, the animated stuff, when Jean's like it's like stop and like everything just blasts out kind of like psionically, it's kind of like that. It's not directed at you, so it's not pain or pressure, but it's like he's just like wake us up now. And the dissonant whispers go out in abyssal, infernal, orcish, common, just snippets of like random words from conversations that don't make any sense on their own, and needs to make a intelligence saving throw.
Okay, that is a 12.
He failed. Nightmare failed.
Give me damage.
Hell yes, this is psychic damage. That's my action. And I think
Psychic damage is my passion.
damn, that's actually pretty good. That is going to be 14 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
And as my bonus action, I'm going to empower my blades so they grow to their D8s.
Okay. They are larger even than they would normally be in this realm, and shed blue light around the room.
Does it look like I'm dual wielding like great swords?
Sure, yeah.
Great psionic swords. Bigger.
Yeah.
Are you moving at all, Tazriel?
Yeah, he's gonna get closer because he's imagining if Vel attacks that they're going to get up close and personal and wants to be there when they are. So yeah, that's my turn.
Matthias.
Oh, how interesting. My turn. Okay, Matthias, this thing appeared literally right in front of his face. It just like assembled right above him. And so he's like looking up, and of course the first thing that he's gonna do is like try and put some space. So he's gonna step back and step back again and step back and feel the familiar crunch of snow underneath his shoes, and is going to take another step back and falter as his foot sinks into a snowdrift, and he's gonna fall back into a deep, deep drift. And scramble for a sword and just hold it in front of him. But that's his whole turn.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Would you give me an intelligence saving throw?
That's so mean. You know he's sensitive about those.
Fuck you! Intelligence saving throw. Well, because I have a +3, that's a 15. Because it's a +1 from a -2.
Yeah. The 15 you said? You step back, you falter. You are caught by a pile of snow that appears to everyone in the middle of this cabin. Sharp ice spikes, and I'm gonna say that you've made a little patch of difficult terrain.
Oh.
Just right there.
This
And
was
it's
not
less-
on purpose.
It's less, again, because people kind of float, it's like that area is your mindscape colliding with Tazriel's, and it's more difficult for other people than you to move through.
Hell yeah. Nice. But yeah, fully, my guy, was just like, you know how in dreams, like, random shit starts happening? That's what happened. He just, like, started stepping backward, and his mind came up with snow, because that's where this bitch is all the time.
Nice.
So he is waist deep in a snowdrift.
It is your turn, Barden.
Okay. I think she's still got that whole Matthias thing of you shouldn't use your form, blah, 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 blah. So definitely using the sword,
Okay.
which I double checked counts as silvered. Baby. So I'm going to, since seeing Kiara just float into the air, she's going to step. She's going to run forward. I'm not sure where she is in multiverse, but she's going to step forward. You know, like how running and like rising up as he walks. It's like that with the sword up behind her, and she wants to try and make it strike. Oh, rage first. Thank you. Sorry, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
With the mandibles, but they're
Nice.
tight. They're tight in right now. Can't see them. But yeah, gonna try and slash.
Jesus Christ.
Big.
I gotta make it smaller.
Jesus Christ, it's Jason
No,
Bourne.
big.
Okay, now what you're going to do for this attack roll is you're going to roll a d20, add your proficiency, which I believe is +3, and your intelligence modifier.
So that's a +4 total.
Yes. You can also attack recklessly if you want for advantage as a barbarian. You can still
I
do that.
very much do.
Okay.
Because that was a 7. That was a 3.
Okay.
I'll take that. I guess that's 7. So that's a 7 plus 4. So that's 11. That ain't gonna do
You
it.
swing your sword, and it's like you're moving it through butter. You have to think so hard about moving the sword through the mist, and your arms don't feel as strong normally. Affecting the world around you is difficult. That's a miss. You have another attack. You can do it again.
You know what I'm gonna do? That I know that Barden doesn't know that spells are less likely to work yet.
You have already taken the attack action, so you can't cast a spell
yeah.
that requires an
Sorry.
action.
Let's
No
give
worries.
that another go. So straight up.
I already know what I'm going to do on my
That
next
is
turn. I'm
a
very excited about it.
13 plus
Hmm.
4, 17.
17 will hit, just
Oh.
barely.
Don't say cry, Sloan.
No, it's much better than that.
Give me damage.
Okay, so now I get to roll, and that's just normal.
Yes, just normal.
Okay. It doesn't do extra things, does it?
No.
Damn it.
It's a special baby, but not that
It's
special
a
in this case.
special baby. That's a 13 total.
Okay, and keep in mind you're raging, so you also added your rage damage, and your sword is a +2, so it does the extra.
So 13, 15. What's my rage thing here? Sorry, 1 second.
I think also
Plus
+2.
2. Yeah, so that is 70?
17.
Yeah.
Yes, amazing. It's a even in the presence of a memory, the memory of this epic sword is enough to do quite a bit of damage to this thing, as it's still held in place by Oasia's runes. That is going to be your turn.
Mhm.
Since
I
you
like the
raised
idea
above
that it was the mist strike just fell into like another and went straight back down again.
Yes.
Just like crisscross.
Now, I missed it, so before this shepherd goes, it's actually going to be Valhiri's turn. They run up from behind where Tazriel moved to, and it strikes towards this thing. Don't worry, Horns, I got this. And is going to make a multi-attack with a short sword. That will miss. That's a natural 20. Hit. Which is
baby.
going to double this. That is
Fucking Mitski in the middle of combat.
12 points of damage. Normally, Vel's blades do poison damage, but this thing is immune to poison, so it just does 12 points of damage. Just cuts through the bottom of part of these tendrils of mist, and then, knowing you, Tazriel, positions themselves like kind of around and behind this thing, and climbs, like kind of floats up on top of one of the cabinets, so they are flanking with you.
My darling.
Now it is this thing's turn. It gets one action, right? It can either move, take a bonus action, or take an action.
It can either move, take an action, or what's the other thing? There's so many things.
Bonus.
Or a bonus action, yes.
And it can't do reactions if it takes an action. Okay.
After the end of this turn, of its own turn, this is like Magic the Gathering style rules. I hate that I know that. End of this turn of its own, it can then take a reaction. But it hasn't been able to until then.
This creature is also a Magic the Gathering card.
I'll believe you.
It's really neat. It is going to. If it has a multi-attack, does it only get one attack, or can it do a multi-attack?
A multi-attack would be considered one action, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then it is going to, just sort of leering out of the fog, this face, sort of these floating eyes in the same blue psionic color as Taz's magic, kind of leers down towards Matthias, who's fallen, and Tazriel himself, and is going to make one claw attack against Matthias with a 15.
Me?
Yeah, on you.
Sorry, you
Yeah,
said
15 on
Matthias
you.
and I heard Tazriel because I'm a nonsense monster. That won't hit. I have an AC of 17 because I got my splint armor.
Yeah,
Damn.
Tazriel. That is going to be a 15 to hit you as well.
My AC is fucking 11 right now, Alex.
Thank you. Finally, some good food. Okay. Tazriel, you take 9 points of bludgeoning damage. And then I need to roll some here. I'll roll on here so it looks fun and cool.
Fun and cool and cool.
Is this about to be psychic damage?
It is.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Do I have vulnerability
And-
to it?
No. You have
Okay,
22. Oh, actually, wait.
Oh boy.
No, this is your dream.
Okay.
This is a specific case. Usually, for some of these things, you would, but you take 22 points of psychic damage. Tazriel.
What? Did you just say 22?
That's a lot
Alex!
of points of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
I'm at less than half my hit points right now, Alex.
Uh-oh. That's no good.
And then at the end of its turn, can't do that thing again. At the end of its turn, the spell on it fades, right?
From Sarah?
Yes. I'm so sorry. I just realized that I have some spells prepared that I technically didn't have prepared because I was using this for a sheet tour. So I'm trying to reorganize my spell sheet. I'm so sorry.
Absolutely
Yes,
no worries.
it is now done. You still can't like do bonus action or action this turn, but you now can take reactions.
Okay. Next in the order is Kiara.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Well, this thing is making me freak out. So there's that. But seeing Taz just get his shit rocked, Kiara is gonna float on forward and maybe like reach down and grab like the quarter of Taz's horn and be like, Taz, I need you to stay here and wake up. Let's go. Come on. And cure wounds, Taz.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since you are using Cure Wounds, remember that you add an additional d8. So it's not 1d8, it is 2d8 plus your wisdom.
Oh no, I'm stuck behind these barrels. We'll figure it out. Okay, 2d8. Let's do it. Let's do it. 1 d8. Oh,
Where did Kiara go?
Where did
I'm
you
behind
go?
those barrels. So it's 2d8 plus 3. So that is 6 plus 3. So I mean, unfortunately, it's only 9 hit points, but
I appreciate it.
The magical energy of your spell releasing sends kind of a warm puff, some of the snow on the edges of Matthias's puddle into water. You guys doing elemental shit again. Okay. Is that your turn, Kiara?
action. I don't think Kiara had. I mean,
Oh yeah, because you cast a level
bonus.
spell.
I don't think Kiara has a bonus action cantrip, so no.
Cool.
That's it.
Oh wait.
Okay. Okay. Oesh sees all of this happening. And sees the massive amount of damage that was just done to Taz. They don't have a lot of movement currently because I'm still keeping their stats outside in the dream world in terms of like what's happening to them there. So they get maybe to about there and realize they're not getting any further and Gonna move them up there. Concentrate, close their eyes, and it's kind of just like a manifestation of will. They don't quite realize what they're doing, and all of a sudden you see Awaish disappear in a similar look of the runes that Taz has floating all around him, kind of an echo tapping into that magic that Tazriel is expressing right now, and reappears at this thing's secondary fucking head, just like in the air.
Yes.
And I am using a spell for this. I've just cast Misty Step. And then I'm going to use a spell for this, but I'm flavoring it as melee because I can, because my stats are the same for magic and melee right now.
Okay.
That Awaish takes their staff and just slams it into the head as hard as they can as I cast Ray of Frost.
Yeah.
For psychic damage. So I'm gonna roll to hit.
Yeah, please do.
Damn. You know what? I want this to be a fun moment, and I just rolled a natural 1, so I'm using my inspiration.
Please.
Fuck that. Not much better. Does a 14 hit?
Unfortunately, it does not hit.
Damn.
However, if you would like to hit this thing on your Ray of Frost, I will allow you to do so, but I get to summon something from your past.
All right, well.
But I want to hit it.
Do it.
Yeah, I'll take someone from my past. Yeah, sure.
That's a devil's bargain. I love it.
Okay, then you hit. Roll damage on your Ray of Frost.
Okay, that is 2d8 psychic damage. Aha! That was worth it, fellas. I rolled a 7 and a 6, so 13.
Yeah, that's hot.
Excellent. You bring your staff slamming down with a force of psionic energy behind it, similar to Tazriel's. It splits through part of this thing's face. The two eyes sort of float apart for a second, and then as they coalesce after you bring the staff down, just fog and mist and clouds spill forth from it. And then rising forth from those clouds, you see a tabaxi. He is black and orange and fairly small, wearing a pressed black suit with a single white flower tucked into the lapel.
Awaish lands heavily on the ground because they teleported into the air. Similar to Matthias, kind of takes a half step back and then fully draws themselves to their full height, back straightening, and you see their face become hard and coy. As for a moment, they don't register that this is a dream version of the person.
To summon a little guy.
Where is he?
Oh.
That's my boss.
Oh dear.
Jesus Christ.
Kiara only gets one channel divinity, y'all. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
They get a second one.
You can always use an inspiration if you have one to turn it into an additional use of your channel divinity one time.
Oh, I have
Keep
a
that in
couple
mind.
of those.
I'll be back in there.
Where are my notes? Let me look at
Oh,
those.
damn it.
Azrael.
Having gotten his shit rocked and getting a little bit of heals from a companion, Taz has his two great swords, psionic great swords, and is rushing forward to make 2 attacks. One of them is going to have sneak attack on it, whichever one hits.
Mm-hmm. You are flanking as well if you want to get advantage on those.
Yep. Uh, 19 to hit on the first one.
That'll hit.
$17 on the second.
That will also hit.
Okay, I'm gonna give you
You
all
get
the
sneak
damage.
attack.
Your Nightmare Shepherd needs to make an intelligence saving throw. DC 13.
Okay. That is a 19.
Bastard. Do I get anything from that? Let's see. Okay, they do still take additional damage. I just don't get the benefits if that's half. Okay, 3d6, 2d8. Christ. Gonna be 10. 9. 24 points of psychic damage.
Oh, I see. You were like 22 points of psychic damage. That's so crazy. Who could do that much damage in a turn? And then, Azrael, your blades cut through the eyes of this thing as you leap up with the force of your intelligence. It is bloodied. You swing the blades down, and it sort of shifts in shape and form, kind of cooling down for a moment. Something is happening to this creature, but it's not its turn yet. Is that your full turn? Anything else?
I think for a little flavor, Taz will like still trying to be flanking sort of so that like Vel has that as well, but will like try to catch their eye and just kind of wink at the massive amount of damage.
You see her through the mist, and she is smiling. Okay, that is your turn. Then next in the order is this little creature down here. The shadow. Let's see, Oishi had just sort of landed in front of it, right? Yeah?
Sorry, I nodded. Yes.
Okay, sorry, I couldn't see you. Okay, Rook, with his arms crossed, just kind of steps over, looks you up and down, and says, "Hey, a spellslinger. Been a long time. You coming back home to pay off those debts anytime soon?"
Look up at the creature. Depends on if you're still any good in the field.
That is a 23 to hit.
Yes, that'll hit.
Okay. You take 6 points of necrotic damage,
Okay.
and your strength score is reduced by 1.
Oh no, not my strength score. It's so low.
If your strength is reduced to 0, you die.
Well, that's not good. That's very much not good, but easier for me to handle currently. So
Yes. He reaches out and almost like he's going to shake your hand or something, and then the mist kind of coalesces around that hand and then around your hands and your wrists, and you feel, again, it's not pulling from somewhere. You feel so strong right now, but there's still a sense back in reality. Your body just shakes and shakes.
as this hand injures me, Awaish keeps even though it is hurting, keeps her grip on Rook's hand, because even though they know this isn't real, there's a part of them that is just going 1,000,000 miles an hour, thinking if there's any way that he is actually in this dream, I cannot give in.
Nice. Next in the order, it is back to Matthias on your little snow throne.
In my little spot. Okay, Matthias is waist deep in a snowdrift. He's got the sword in front of him, but he can't reach, and he's like struggling and can't get out. So he is going to reach into the snowdrift and like pull out a big chunk of ice and just like throws it and starts throwing chunks of ice at this thing. And does eventually like sends a hand in and pulls out a big chunk of black ice, and then like looks down and sees that a bunch of the snow around him has turned black and just chucks it again because he has no choice. He has nothing else that he can use. I am gonna make an attack roll with my ice chunks.
Okay. Make an attack roll using your intelligence.
Since I'm throwing ice chunks, could this be counted as dexterity and therefore wisdom?
Ranged attack.
Yeah. I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Ranged attack. Here we go.
Yeah, it's a thrown weapon. That's fine.
What do I add to this? Anything?
Your proficiency. You are as a fighter. Sorry, you're a fighter?
I'm a
Yes.
paladin.
No, you're a paladin. As a paladin, you are proficient in martial and simple weapons, right?
Martial weapons and simple weapons, yes.
Yes. Okay, then I'll allow you to use your proficiency for this.
Okay.
You roll a d20, add your proficiency and your wisdom.
Okay, so I have a +0 to wisdom, so nothing there, but I do get +3 for my proficiency, so that's a dirty 20.
Nice.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, I'll allow you to make 2 attacks, and I'm going to count them as the damages of daggers, since
Great.
they are sharp.
Ah, fuck, that one was bad. That's a 9.
Roll a d4 and add your wisdom.
Wow, I feel so special. Where are my fucking d4s? Okay, here's one. I got one. Here we go.
I think Kiara is looking at Matthias incredulously
yes!
as he throws fucking snowballs instead of sorting.
I
this
don't
bit.
have anything. I'm in ice. Okay, yes, I put myself here. What's your point? What am I adding to this?
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay, I got a 4 on the d4.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's like...
Woo!
Good job, buddy.
Max damage, buddy.
You throw a chunk of ice through this thing, and it actually seems to annoy it a little bit.
Still just reaching back as he seems to sink further, almost like it's in quicksand. See, perhaps he's had this nightmare before where he's just sinking into a snowdrift.
Oh, yeah. That's a classic one.
Yeah,
Everyone
he's
has
like,
that after initiation.
yeah, up to his chest in snow. That's his
I'm
turn.
gonna have to pull you out.
Probably.
Is this the reason for this?
Back before the top of the order, it is Valkyrie's turn. They, from where they are, after flashing that smile to Tazriel, where's my... God. Feature. Okay. Once again, is going to make 2 short sword attacks. Just kind of climbs up the wall a little bit, kind of a spider climb vibe. Vel is fine at intelligence. That's not their strong suit. They're very dexy. But they are fine. So 2 short sword attacks with advantage. The first one is going to miss. And then the second... Ooh, that's also going to miss. Unfortunately, that was a 5, a 2, a 3, and a 7.
Alex, what are you using to roll the love of my life?
D20s. See, they're very pretty.
They're going to jail.
Perhaps it's how crowded this area is, but it's not that Valkyrie isn't really hitting, it's that she doesn't seem super focused on the fight. Maybe more their attention is drawn towards Tazriel. Wonder why.
Horny disorder.
Barden,
Is it a disorder if you enjoy it?
you are the second to last turn before we're going to take another break, just so you know.
Okay. I'm right next to the dude again. I'm still there, aren't I?
Yes.
I think definitely seeing how Matty has affected the world. Somehow there's suddenly snow. Guessing that's him. Makes sense. I think Barden's still got the sword in her hands, she's like, this is my best shot. But thinking like, you're a magic sword, like you're something of legend, be legendary, and just like wills it to be stronger, wills it to be brighter, for the moon to shine out of it, like the eyes and the diamonds just blinding light.
Are you
As
trying
if
to
this
affect
is
reality.
a little bit.
Okay. Give me an intelligence saving throw.
Let's see how bad this goes.
Yep.
So that is just my intelligence.
An intelligence saving throw. So if you're proficient in intelligence saving throws, which I don't think barbarians are, so
No.
just your intelligence.
That's a 3.
A 3. Okay. I will allow you to succeed on this if I get to summon something from your path.
See, I kind of just want to see what you do. I also want this to work, but I also am very curious. So yeah, I will do that.
Okay.
On the other
Barden.
hand, you could get like a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man scene where go, web, go.
Sword, do things. Just shaking it.
Barden, for your next turn, you can use your strength as normal to attack with your sword. So you'll add your strength bonuses to your sword, which I believe is a +5 to attack and also to damage.
My current turn.
Yes, your current turn, you can use your strength.
Okay.
As you do so, as you summon this forth, just sort of rising up the moonlight around you, there is a kind of similar to Matthias's, some kind of crystal just sort of lifts you up underneath your feet. This golden platform raising you up, and you can feel your feet sinking into it in the same way. It's thick. But you get to make your 2 attack rolls. You can also, again, attack recklessly for advantage.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do those first, and then I'm gonna react to that. Sorry, I'm on my spells, so... Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I'm... Oh, that's a nat 20! That is a 30!
Yeah.
God, that was cool. Okay. Sorry, that felt really good. And that is... Oh my god, that was 9 total. So annoying. It's only
only
9.
9? You're still adding your barbarian rage damage. Oh god. I mean,
yeah, I got +2, so that'll be 11. I guess. Sad.
And your second attack?
Yeah, let's try that again. Oh my god, that is a nat 1. 11 total.
With advantage?
Oh no, I didn't do the advantage. Yeah, so I do have advantage on that, sorry. But that was amazing. That was incredible. A 20 and a fucking 1 again. What the hell?
That makes perfect sense to me, Barton.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Like,
the first attack, as you call to your sword and the countless legends surrounding something like it, you strike true through this thing. It is wounded, again, not wounded in a traditional way, just falling apart, having trouble holding on to its place in this plane here. But with the second attack, you just sink into this gold crystal. You are entombed within it.
there is a scream as she is falling through, And it is not a Barden scream, it is a chittering screech that does not belong to the half-orc.
Mhm.
Terrified.
Back to the Nightmare Shepherd's turn. It is, as I said, currently bloodied. The body of this thing just kind of diffuses down. You see the Rook zombie, Rook shadow as well, kind of falls into it, coalesces, and then just pours out and away from the room. We are currently out of initiative, but there's this sense, this pressure, like something is gathering its strength.
Oh no.
Cool. Great.
And should we do a short little break before we finish up?
Yeah.
See
Be
you guys
right
back here very soon.
Ah!
And welcome back once again to the deep, dark depths of Tazriel's mind.
Welcome to my twisted mind.
Do we really have to say Taz's mind? Because I don't think I summoned this nightmare thing.
Is it somebody
I'm just
else's
saying.
mind, Tazriel? Is this somebody else's memory?
Break?
We haven't seen that bitch. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm kidding. Vic, I don't mean it. I love it.
I hate
No,
all of you.
Vic.
I don't.
Word.
I love.
Just
I love
for
you all.
as a gift. As a gift.
A gift.
Is it because I've been naughty? I got this kind of gift.
Yeah.
Yes. The things disperse. The snow and this crystal that you're encased in, those are still there. They're still present.
Fuck.
Barden's just sort of slow motion swimming like through some kind of goo.
I'm not sure if they're swimming. I think they're suspended.
Yeah.
I think they're terrified. They are still. Eyes just darting.
Matthias is struggling.
Yeah, always
He's
shakes
twisting.
themselves a bit, sees Matthias' size, and like reaches down a hand to just effortlessly pull him up and out.
Yeah, he grasps on to their forearm and then like whoop, as he is lifted bodily out of the snow.
Struggling a bit there.
It's happened before. I have that nightmare all the time. There usually isn't someone to pull me out, though.
Turns to Tazriel.
Taz,
Just staring.
Taz is gonna go and try and help Barden out of the.
Mm-hmm. This one is going to take an athletics check, but keep in mind, Tazriel, that you use your intelligence instead of your strength.
Intelligence.
That's why I offered, because I am a bit of a smart boy. It's a little bit.
Smart boy.
Yeah, I think that 20 not natural.
Okay, you have to kind of crack the outer layer of this thing, and this sweet-smelling liquid pools out around your feet,
Oof.
and you can tug Barden out.
I think as like pull you out and we're like face to face, or however face to face we can be with our size difference, there's like you can still see he's stressed out about the situation between us and everything, but there's still that like camaraderie and friendship that was there in the eyes.
Aw.
I will say this might change that a little bit. As you pull Barden out, it's Novel that emerges. Just coughing.
The stress is more prevalent on his face, but you still see the "you are my friend, you were my friend," like it's, you can still see that in the eyes.
Valhiri sheathes their short swords into two side straps and then just sort of like looks towards Novel.
She's they're visiting.
Horns, do we need to be
No,
okay? Just kind of looks like Zahirit.
Who?
Zahirit.
Who's
It's
that?
a group.
They're not-
Some members.
it's not a problem.
Okay. Undercover.
Oish will narrow their eyes a bit at that and say, I would like to hear more about this group.
Empire business.
Zayo's changelings?
Some of them are quite adept at deception. But only a few. Ones that we've been hunting.
You hunt them?
False worshippers. But like Tazriel said,
Vel,
vampire business. I thought these were your friends,
they
but not knights.
not knights like us.
Barton is gonna shift. Novel's gonna shift back into Barton as soon as like night is mentioned. Just keep going. What are we doing?
Can we leave? Maybe getting further away from this cabin is something to explore.
Well,
All right, I'll go first.
Wait.
Matthias, maybe don't.
Don't what?
I threw a stone into the fog. There wasn't a sound. I'm not. There might not be anywhere.
Oh, and I meant maybe don't go first. If you might summon ice again.
We are in the plane of dreams and mist. Venturing outward doesn't mean that there's nothing there, but rather that our minds may supply the location.
Maybe more helpful, comfortable location. If
Who
we-
has
No.
the safest place, I guess.
In the Ungek one or in someone else's dream?
Is
I'm
it-
sure.
If you think very hard about a place, can you make it appear?
Is that what happened when you brought the snow?
That wasn't on purpose. That just happened. I didn't make that happen. It just happened.
maybe you're not the hardest thinker.
Oh god damn it. Vel, I forgot they were like this. Oh my god.
And a little knife in Velhiri's ribs. There we go.
Don't worry, someone already took care of that for you.
Oh man! Oh.
I'm giving myself a point of inspiration for that.
Only to be used by Velhiri, though.
Yes, exactly.
Matthias
Um,
does for a second kind of like closes his mouth and readjusts and then says, if someone else would like to volunteer.
I might give it a try, but looking at Tazriel, I think we're a bit tethered.
Oh.
Maybe, Daz, do you want to think of a place you think would be safe? If you're driving the cart?
We've used this place as a safe house many times.
I think it turns to Valhalla and it's just, how many times has it been invaded though? I think, I know exactly what he's going to think, because even though his MO is getting it out small groups, he also recognizes that for certain things there's safety in numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we might actually still gonna look like we're in a cabin, but it goes to our cabin. If he's able to do it, he's gonna try and get them that cabin that him and Vel shared. It was the lake, but it was like near the
Home.
the academy, right? Like
Your home at
around
the
there.
Ignis Royal Academy.
Yes, because there'd be other fire knights, not in the cabin itself, but around to come in if there was help. Like that's what he think of.
Give me an intelligence saving throw.
I am proficient with these.
You are.
Abso-fucking-lutely, Alex. That's a natural 20 for a 25.
Ooh.
Give it to me.
Okay. Give me just a second. Find the place.
While this is happening, as
Mhm.
Kiara does go up to Matthias and say, I think you think fine.
I know where my strengths lie, Kiara. He doesn't make eye contact.
I know. Well, Kiara wasn't making eye contact either. Their awkward fight happened not that long ago.
Yeah.
Can I take a second to just actually, is the honey still there?
It is fading around you, but yes, it is.
With like doesn't want to, but definitely like wants to taste it. It's just honey.
It's just honey.
It's just honey.
Thought it might be different. Yeah.
Okay. Your concentration, Tazriel, as you push open the door, you see shifting in front of you not the trees of the Ungekwan, but rather plains extending out, soft grass. You are in some kind of valley, and the large and well-furnished house that you share with Vel when you're home between missions lies in front of you.
I feel like we've seen this before. Did we see this map in... It was
Yes.
in Tazriel's
That was
dream.
In dreams.
Yep. My first dream.
Mm-hmm.
Baby's first dream.
I think he's hesitant to open the door because once again, it's his mind and his brain isn't letting him think about the fact that Bella's dead. It's like, oh, Bella's here. They're not dead, which also would mean like his subconscious remembers that we are back not only where they died, well, not where they died, where the doppelganger died, but where his last dream brought him about this. But his front mind's like, this is fine. So small hesitation, and then opens the door and walks in.
This place is more recently visited. A little sturdier, well lit. There are kitchen cabinets, places to sit, a large bed towards the back. A number of strange trophies on the walls. You see curved claws, some kind of tail of something that's been cut, an eye that's floating in a jar with 3 pupils,
Oh.
a number of weird and grotesque wild bits.
Quite a collection. Tazriel. Do I see anything
Just
interesting on these walls? Anything specific?
Give me a perception check.
I would also like to do this, please.
Please do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Everyone wants to look at me.
Everybody. Yes. Go, Matthias, go.
Yeah.
Go, my boy.
So that's a 23.
Yeah.
Nice.
14.
Did not get a natural 20, but I did get a 24.
13.
That's fine.
Excellent. Well, Matthias, definitely. One unique thing that you note, as you pass by the mirror, your reflection is Tazriel, not yourself. Anyone who passes by the mirror just sees Taz in the reflection, but it's a younger Tazriel. Not the Tazriel you know, maybe 22, 23, 24. Kind of less scruffy, kind of less gruff, maybe slightly shorter horns. This is Tazriel in the beginning of his career as a Brightling. There's also a number of books on the walls. Opening them, even with that high perception check, doesn't reveal any text to you, but you can see the kind of like script or decorations on the front of them, the things that are considered valuable here. This is a place of study of the wild and of historical Jurian politics. Valhiri has a number of books, diagrams, and things that are related to specifically the way the wild is a threat in Abshur. And considering you just heard that word, Zahirit, you notice that there is a notebook. Matthias, since you're kind of the first and the most curious, there's a notebook on a side table that is handwritten with a Z, kind of Z symbol on it. And as you open it, can't really read the words, but there's some kind of diagram of a hierarchy, like almost like a family tree, but blurry names. Some of them are crossed out.
He just looks at it for a long time, I think. Almost like he's trying to memorize it. He knows he's not gonna... Thinks it's a slim chance that he'll be able to recall it outside of the dream, but he takes a good long look at that bad boy.
The rest of you do see some various names of, like, books and more of these items. Looks like there is a particular tendency towards trophies that are not... How do I say this? Anything that would be considered blasphemous is not here. There's nothing that would resemble actual Jurian symbology. It's more like particularly strange things that have been brought back here as an example. And it's not in the sense of like a hunter's lodge where every wall is covered with like trophies of conquest. It's more like subtle reminders. But there's also things about this memory. Tazriel, you were searching for safety. There's a teacup that's left on a dresser that's like still warm. There's a pleasant smell in here that is familiar to you, Kiara, because it's the smell of this area, of the jasmine, of the perfumes, of the silk that is from this area. So there's a sense of comfort and safety here, and obvious signs of a life that is well lived, even if it is sometimes put on hold.
Damn. This guy had a whole life, and then it got ruined.
This place is beautiful, Daz.
Thanks, Kara.
We keep it nice.
Are there any flowers around here?
Oh,
in the
sure,
house?
there's a garden.
Oh. Maybe later I'll go out and spend some time in there when we're safe.
I would
Green
take a
flower.
peek in the garden.
Oh.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, please.
I was just gonna say, I think Awaish is starting to come to a whisper of a realization about something, and just puts a backwards glance at Taz that's maybe a little too knowing. They are very familiar with the concept of this space is too nice and too comfortable for Taz to be on this expedition, is essentially what Awaish is realizing. They are
Yeah.
familiar with it in the way that they have had that.
The two of you look out towards the garden, and it's lovely. You can see white flowers, a few roses, dandelions. It's a little overgrown, like it hasn't been trimmed back in a bit, but not in the way that it's been left for months. More like maybe someone occasionally comes by, and it hasn't, it's been a while. But the two of you looking out towards the garden also note there's that same white mist that's gathering just around the bases of the bush, around the base of the bushes.
The mist is back. Should we try to Kiara looks at, I think, makes eye contact-ish, or looks at Matthias with the intention of making eye contact, depending on whether he looks back.
They look at each other.
And then we'll say, barricade the place?
I don't know if it's better to close down the entrances or keep the exits open.
Alex, do you think it's fair to say, given our line of work, there's probably like a fucking, like, I'm imagining like under the, like over where Kiara is actually standing, there's like a trap door or something that we can actually get out of here if something bad happened. Like, it's the middle of this, we're in, you know, the Royal Academy, but also we're like, shit can go wild at any second. And I think
You're both
if that's-
paranoid people.
Yeah, rightfully so. And I think Taz will say, we can barricade. Tell me if you disagree with this. He'll say, we can barricade all of the doors. We have only a few windows for, being able to barricade, and there's a way to get out underneath the carpet. And he points.
Here's a thought. That old cabin, it was pretty well barricaded. All the windows and doors were closed off. And that thing just kind of seeped inside. So maybe it's better to give them an obvious entrance so we know where they're coming in.
Quite a strategy.
Excuse me.
I had a very aggressive tutor in history and military strategy.
All right. Let's do
mine was
that.
barely interested, so that sounds better.
We'll barricade all the entrances except for one.
And in the one, I cast snare. One of the zombies doesn't walk through that entrance. I'm suing.
Alex, I think while they're doing this, he realizes we could really use some help. And if I'm allowed to,
Give it a shot.
I would like to pull my boy,
Your boy?
my favorite tiefling, but my favorite orcish buddy.
I
My
thought you were going to
child-
say my favorite tiefling
Oh,
butt.
Yurkov?
Yes.
Oh, can I pull a friend in too?
Can we pull?
Can we pull
Can we-
friends in?
Can we pull friends? Can we run friends? I mean, obviously we're not about to fight right now, but can we when
It
we
is-
get back?
It is more difficult. It's a higher DC to do it. But yes, once again, you're making intelligence saving throws, and you have the amount of time to try once for each of you if you're trying to pull something in.
Sarah, you first.
Oh,
I'm
I was
scared.
going to say you could go first.
No, I'm afraid.
All right. Intelligence saving throw?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's a 22.
That will do it. What are you trying to pull? Oish.
I would love for my right hand bitch to come through the mist.
Your
First
your
name.
ex.
Yes. My right hand man, my ex girlfriend, and my partner in crime. And my best friend.
It is going to take you a while. You're concentrating. Because you had seen Rook, you have the feeling that this is something you can do, but you don't really want it to get corrupted in the same way, since you're the one who's pulling this source. So it takes you a while. You're concentrating, but you will be able to do so. Tazriel, what did you roll?
Before I tell you, I have a question.
my god.
If I failed,
Yeah.
could you pull somebody terrible from my past? To let me.
Maybe.
I didn't fail. I don't think. I got a 21.
You did not fail.
Friends.
You both beat it. You
coming in.
both beat a DC 20, which is pretty impressive.
High five.
I'm no
I'm
DC
smart.
20. I was gonna try something, but never fucking mind.
Yeah, I know. Well,
Sorry.
now you just have to hope that Kiara's not like, oh no, more zombies.
You can roll a
Yeah.
natural 20.
Go ahead. Try.
Oh wait,
it.
no, Matthias can't. Right? Even if you get a natural 20, it's 19.
No, because it's a save. So I
It's a safe throw. Yeah, you can give it a shot.
Come on, Matthias. Try. Get your buddy.
Do we get Matthias magic for being around him?
You do. If you're within 10 feet, you have a +3 on saves.
Oh shit.
Shit, and that was a 20.
Yeah. Then that was a 24.
All right, I'm gonna roll.
Oh, you might not have been near him. Matthias is doing
In
trying
save.
to barricade.
In save. In save.
Kiara was specifically
I
near
tell you
him,
what, I
though.
didn't roll a natural 20. I rolled a 2. A 2.
Hey,
What were you trying to
uh,
summon? What were you trying to think about, Matthias?
If we needed help, I would have thought of Vice. is my
Yeah.
first reaction. It could also have been anyone else from the Order if you wanted to introduce anyone from the Order or from the other community near the Order.
Well, here's the thing, actually, is that interestingly enough, Vice is currently unconscious in the plane of dreams, very near you guys. So
Vice is gonna
What?
kill me.
The
Well, Vice
dragon
was not-
in.
Vice was knocked
shit!
out.
Well, so
in
I
the
was
same
trying
way.
to pull her, but I rolled
So you
a
can't
3.
you cannot pull a memory Vice, but you can tug on Vice's thread to bring her closer.
Ooh.
So you fail
Oh.
at bringing back a memory, but as you are thinking about Vice, there's this kind of tugging sensation, again from like the cord at the back of your neck, and then just kind of stumbling out of the mirror, you see Vice.
What?
Real or fake?
I was having incredible sex with my husband.
Yes! Yes!
Interrupted her.
I'm like
Coitus
Matthias.
interruptus? In
And I don't-
our game?
I don't think you know how hard it is for me to do that anymore.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. What do you need? Where the fuck are we?
We've been trying to figure that out. We don't know where we are. I was trying to... Everybody was thinking up things to bring in, and I thought of you. And I guess I brought you here. I didn't think about...
I'm very flattered that I am your first person to turn to in an emergency.
Well... But if you're here, then that means... Is the rest of the crew here as well? Have you seen any of that? I guess probably not.
No, I've been a little focused.
He deserves it.
Well, if... I guess this helps
No,
us
no,
figure
I'm
a
here.
little
What
more
can I
out
do?
about our situation. This mist has been creeping up on us, and,
I have seen that. Vice is here.
yes.
Yay!
Vice is here!
Vice is here. I do
Vice is also
specifically. Oh,
Decently
go ahead.
Smart.
Yeah.
Sorry, Vice
Yes,
is decently
smart
wisdom,
Vice.
so she can use her deck stuff.
I am trying to pull in post-dating, soon to pre-fall first rain.
You're
Uh,
trying specifically to pull
I'm
in
trying to pull a version. That's yeah.
a version that's super mad at you?
No. Like the months before the fall,
Okay.
post first rain being very mad at me.
The time of peace.
All right. So Matthias, is anyone else giving it a shot?
Kiara rolled a 4 plus 3, so 7. So no.
What were you thinking of?
I was, because of the undead stuff, I think Kiara was thinking of trying to pull someone from the temple.
A cleric to help you out.
Mm-hmm.
So, unable to do so.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily your forte anyway. Again, you are a creature of heat, and whatever mental space you might dream in is not this plane. It is a very different one. But you do...
Usually the
With
fountain of
blood and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So you do just kind of pull forth in reaching out, forming out of mist into your hand, a holy symbol.
Oh.
It's a flame shape, the symbol of Bane.
Kiara already has one, so she's gonna go give it to Garden. And say, I
you
have
maggot-
one, but maybe this will help.
Thank you. I don't think I'll try anything else, just in case. Not doing that again. Thank you. And just tucks it away.
Okay. You've summoned some allies. It takes the longest to pull forth Yurkov and First Rain. The rest of you have barricaded all the entrances. Which entrance are you leaving open? There's this kind of back side entrance And then there are the 3 arches in the front. Are you leaving the front open?
Maybe whatever the door to the garden is?
Okay, that would be the back entrance.
Mm.
So I'm going to put a little rope snare, so I remember it, right there on that door. And we're going to say that you guys have barricaded the other entrances just with whatever you are able to pull forth here. It is not too hard, considering this place is pretty well stacked with materials for emergencies. Just strange accoutrement, a few kitchen pots and pans. It's obviously the thought that counts here. Things can grow or shrink if you believe that they will protect you.
There
So-
can be miracles.
Oh my god.
If you believe.
I have no idea what the
Wow.
song y'all are singing is.
It's from Prince of Egypt.
The ending
I've
one.
only seen that once.
It's really good. Definitely recommend it.
You've barricaded the entrances, and then finally, as the mist grows, the lights, even though it's warm here, warm lighting, warm in temperature, time passes strangely, but it does seem to be growing darker outside. You finish your work, and then, again, stepping out of that mirror as you pass by. First, a tall, buff, broad-shouldered, pink dragonborn. She is heavily scarred and has a series of unique modifications. Looks like parts of her pink armor have actually been replaced with patches of silver or adamantine scaling, like places where maybe she's been burned or injured has been replaced with a mechanical aspect of extra protective metal. She is wearing what she always wears, a suit with the arms rolled up, a long tail, and a harness to hold her weapons. And then Tazriel, your friend. Smaller than you, I would say, but still maybe 6'1" or so. His skin is a richer blue color than your own, sort of a different tint. He's got a series of lighter freckles across his face, down his arms. He's dressed not very neatly in a set of leathers, with a big backpack over his shoulder and a long quiver strapped to the side of his leg. He's also got this holster of some kind with a big flagon in it, just like a big bottle, something that he always travels with, and a series of maps and scrolls on his back.
I also want to add he's got scars going down the right side of his face.
Yes, kind of similar to Matthias, actually. He's got a big set of scars.
Yurkov. Brother. Go in and give him a big fucking hug.
He gives you a massive hug, lifts you up off the ground. So, what are we fighting?
Something out of our nightmares.
Better my nightmares than yours.
I think it's mine.
Well, fuck. Okay. Steps to the side. And then First Rain stepping forward.
Oasia's just leaning against the wall.
Kind of steps up. Tail waving side to side. Blows out a smoke ring over your face.
You're looking weak.
Bitch.
Want to fuck something up?
Always.
And I will turn to the rest of the party and introduce First Rain to them. This is a companion of mine.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
Interesting crew.
Well, times change.
I'm assuming you needed a leader, so hello, all of you. First ring. Pleasure. And that
Say.
is where we are going to leave this episode. You have made your preparations for the next
Oh my god.
stage of this combat.
Oh,
We have so
Test
many
brain.
NPCs. It's going to be a fun combat. We'll play around with it a little bit so it's not too draggy. I'm probably going to have some of you actually end up playing your NPCs as well. So it's not just me playing the NPCs. I'll have some of you guys play them in addition. But yeah,
yeah.
thank you guys so much for joining us. Sad to announce that we are not going to be back playing Strange Hungers for at least a few weeks, maybe longer. We are taking kind of a holiday break as we are traveling and in different time zones, but still keep an eye out for announcements over on Total Party Kiss's socials. That is at Total Party Kiss on Twitter, on Instagram, and now on Hive. We also have a Hive now, which is awesome. And of course, our YouTube for previous videos, because we might be doing some Strange Hungers themed one shots with some extra special guests. And we'll let you know more information about that as it comes up. But for now, enjoy the week off. Thank you guys so much for being here. Another shout out to One More Multiverse for our maps, and of course to Soundtail for our music. And keep an eye out again for our other streams coming up over this weekend and next week. I'm not sure what the schedule is because again, people are kind of flexible, but you can always find more information about what we all do on our socials.
Yes.
Cool, that's me.
Okay, everybody.
Oh yeah.
We'll see you soon, but not too soon.
Bye.
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 Before 2024.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, bye.